UFC 291, Poirier versus Gaethje, underdog of the card. Now, these videos are not to go out there and just give you one underdog I already have a prediction on. In that case, I would literally just go out there and say, Derrick Lewis, I have him as an underdog that I think is going to win on this card. If that was the case, and I just was picking every underdog that I thought was going to win, they would be my underdogs of the card. But that's not how this works. We're looking for the most valuable underdog of the card. Even Alex Pereira is a slight one, but he will not end up being my underdog of the card for reasons I will get into. The underdog of the card is the fighter with the best value. You bet $100 on them. What is the best return on investment you could get in that fight relative to the risk that you would be betting on that one? The best underdog of the card. It makes sense. We're going to start from the bottom, make our way to the top, and give you my reasons why I think some of them are not underdog of the card and that some of them are. Miranda Maverick, Priscilla Cachoeira. This one, if it was, if there was even an inkling inside me thinking that Priscilla would be the underdog of the card, that would have had to have been a week ago, 2 weeks ago, when she opened up at plus 375, having Miranda Maverick as a 5-1 favorite. Maybe then she might have actually been underdog of the card, because that is some crazy, crazy value at plus 375. As of right now, you lost a lot of that value. So right now, it's just not there. It is women's MMA. There's always the possibility of a Priscilla crazy KO TKO for sure. But no, we're not going to do anything there. Euros Medic, I do believe those are good odds. I would say this is an underdog or past type of fight. I kind of agreed with them when the odds were out early on, when they had Semmelsberger minus 140, minus 150. I thought that made sense. Then more and more money came in on Matthew Semmelsberger, and now you got plus 177, which is pretty solid on Euros Medic, but is not the best bang for your buck, in my opinion, on this card. CJ Vergara, Vinicius Salvador. Salvador just missed weight, making me even more confident on Vergara. Plus is plus 120, plus 130. There is nothing there. Ladies and gentlemen, CJ, he's going to win that fight. Jake Matthews, again, another one of those where all the value is gone. The man started out minus 400, actually started out earlier than that, a little bit less than minus 400, went down to minus 400, then back up to minus 300, and is now at the minus 260-ish range. There's nothing there for you on Darius Flowers, in my opinion. Jake is literally better everywhere except for power. And for welterweights, it's not that hard to beat those power guys. You can counter them with takedowns coming in, or just counter them on the feet. That's all you really got to do. Claudio Ribeiro, again, decent underdog odds. I do not believe Roman should be a minus 280 favorite. That's crazy. 2-1 odds on Ribeiro is not bad at all. I think those are solid odds. But he is not going to be my underdog of the card. This is an underdog I do have winning, and I will say it right now, this is my second best underdog of the card. Derrick the Black Beast Lewis. If you look at the original odds for Derrick Lewis when they started out, the man was a favorite. The man was a favorite for a bit there. Then he was the slightest underdog you'll ever see at that plus 100, plus 105 range. And then, out of nowhere, all sorts of money came in on Marcos Rogerio de Lima, making Derrick Lewis one of, if not the, most valuable bet on the card in terms of the money line. There's huge value on Derrick Lewis right there. Trevin Giles, no. Gabriel Bonfim is a confident pick. Kevin Holland on Michael Chiesa there. I like the odds on Holland, I'll be honest. I actually like the odds on Holland. Chase is getting older and older and over. Holland is bigger, taller, lengthier, better striker. And his jiu-jitsu is getting a lot better. His takedown defense is getting a lot better. For the underdog odds just to be plus 130, yeah, there's not enough there. The opening odds, having Holland almost a 2-1 favorite. Now, those are some good dog odds. But as of right now, it's not really there. The Stephen Wonderboy Thompson fight sadly was canceled, so we're not able to talk about that for some reason on this main card. And then here we go. I already told you it's not going to be Alex Pereira against Jan Blachowicz. I'm predicting Dustin Poirier to be Justin Gaethje. I think there's, again, good odds on Justin Gaethje, good odds on Alex Pereira as the underdog. Those are both dog or pass fights. But ladies and gentlemen, we have found our underdog of the card. Bobby Green versus Tony Ferguson. Plus 300 odds on Tony Ferguson to go out and beat Bobby Green. Let's give you some perspective here. Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson were the same odds. Let me say that one more time. Michael Chandler had the same odds against Tony Ferguson as Bobby Green. All right? Tony Ferguson was favored to beat Charles Oliveira. He was a 2-1 favorite to beat Justin Gaethje. He was a very slight underdog to beat Beneil Dariush, and he was the favorite against Nate Diaz. And now he's a plus 300 dog, the same that he was against Michael Chandler. That is insane. That is freaking insane, in my opinion. That's nuts. How in the world is he that big of how is he that big of an underdog? That's crazy odds. I mean, he's been a big favorite throughout all of his career. Was a big underdog one time against Michael Chandler, and then the same odds again for Bobby freaking Green. That's a huge step down in competition there. And you were beating Michael Chandler in round number 1. I've saw training footage of Tony. He's looking fast. He looks in shape. He looks fit. He looks healthy. He looks good. He looks good. I don't think he wins. I got Bobby Green winning that fight. But plus 300? Underdog of the card is going to be Bobby Green. For UFC 291, our second best underdog of the card, for sure, is going to be Derek Lewis. But thank you guys for watching. Those are my favorite underdogs for UFC 291. Like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.